Things Australia banned that shock the world. Welcome back to Australia Tales. Today we're diving into a topic that's bound to make you laugh, raise your eyebrows, and maybe even leave you saying, "Wait, what? That's banned in Australia." Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about the things Australia banned that shock the world. From food you thought was harmless, to pets people dream about owning, to even video games, you'll be surprised at how strict Australia can be when it comes to protecting its borders, its people, and its culture. Now, this isn't just about laughing at weird bans. There's a serious side too, because these bans actually say a lot about Australia's identity, its environment, and its priorities. And if you watch this video until the end, you'll walk away with not only a list of surprising bans but also an understanding of why Aussie life is shaped this way. And hey, before we jump in, don't forget to subscribe to Australia Tales, drop a like, and most importantly, leave a comment. Have you ever been shocked by a ban in Australia? Maybe you tried to bring something through customs and got caught? Or maybe you're still upset you can't buy your favorite snack here. Share your story, I'd love to hear it. Alright, let's get into the good stuff. Australia is famous for its strict border controls. The joke goes that you can smuggle gold into Australia more easily than you can smuggle a sandwich. And honestly, there's some truth to that. Australia is an island continent with a unique environment, and because of that, the government takes biosecurity extremely seriously. But here's where it gets interesting. Some of the bans make total sense, and others will just make you scratch your head. Let's explore them one by one. Dangerous pets that are totally illegal. Let's start with pets. Aussies love their cats and dogs, but when it comes to exotic pets, the country says a big fat nope. Snakes, tarantulas, and lizards, while some natives are already deadly enough, many foreign reptiles and spiders are completely banned. Why? Because if they escape, they can wipe out native wildlife. Australia's natural ecosystem is fragile, and one new species could throw everything out of balance. Hamsters, gerbils, and ferrets, now this one shocks people. In many countries, kids grow up with cute little hamsters running on their wheels. But in Australia, legal. They're banned because they're considered pests that could breed out of control and damage crops. Imagine explaining to your child, "No, sweetheart, we can't get a hamster because it could destroy the wheat industry." Rabbits. Okay, technically you can own a rabbit in some states, but in Queensland? Nope. They're banned unless you're a magician with a permit. Yes, really. Because rabbits breed like... well, rabbits. They've already caused massive environmental damage in Australia's past. This might sound extreme, but when you think about how sensitive Australia's environment is, it starts to make sense. Still, it feels funny to think that owning a fluffy bunny could land you in legal trouble. Foods that are banned in Australia. This is where things get really juicy, or maybe not, since some of these foods never made it past the border. Kinder Surprise eggs. Yes, those chocolate eggs with toys inside. They're banned in the USA but not in Australia. Here's the twist. Australia loves Kinder Surprise. But the United States sees them as a choking hazard. So if you're an American watching this, you might be jealous that Aussie kids are allowed to enjoy them. But Australia has its own list of banned foods. 1. Unpasteurized cheese like raw milk brie or camembert. Australia is super strict about dairy safety. If it hasn't been pasteurized, it's banned. Cheese lovers cry silently. 2. Sassafras oil used in root beer in the old days. Completely banned because the key chemical can also be used to make illegal drugs. So no old school root beer flavor for Aussies. 3. Chewing tobacco. While smoking is legal with heavy restrictions, chewing tobacco is completely banned for sale. If you thought about starting a cowboy habit here, sorry mate, no dice. 4. Certain energy drinks and supplements. Australia has tighter limits on caffeine and other additives compared to other countries. So if you've ever wondered why some US brands are missing here, now you know. 5. Horse meat. Now this one is cultural. Some countries eat horse meat, but in Australia, it's basically taboo. The idea of eating a horse is shocking to most Aussie people. And here's a fun one, Marmite. For a while, Marmite was banned from being imported because it contained too much folate unless prescribed. Imagine telling an English tourist they can't bring in their favorite spread. Video games that never made it. Now let's talk about video games, because Australia has one of the strictest game classification systems in the world. If a game contains too much violence, drug use, or sexual content, it can be refused classification, which basically means banned. Some famous examples. Mortal Kombat 2011 version, banned initially for being too violent. Later released once the classification system added an R18+ rating. Saints Row 4th, banned at first because of drug references. Edited then released. DayZ video game, banned because players could use cannabis plants to heal. The devs had to change the game to meet Ozzy rules. Postal 2, infamous for being banned because of extreme violence. The irony? Aussies can watch violent movies with no problem, but when it comes to games the government cracks down harder. The reasoning is that games are interactive, so the impact is stronger. It makes Australia look like a strict parent saying, you can watch it but you can't play it. Weird everyday bans. Some bans are so random they make you laugh. Pets on planes. Unlike in the US where small pets can travel in the cabin, in Australia, they must go in cargo. Tough luck for your chihuahua. Importing Pop-Tarts. At one point, certain Pop-Tart flavors were banned because of artificial food dyes that Australia doesn't allow. Imagine explaining to an American kid, sorry, your breakfast is illegal here. Laser pointers. In some states, high-powered laser pointers are banned because people were pointing them at planes. So yes, you can buy fireworks but not a strong pointer. Plastic bags, single-use. Most states have banned them for environmental reasons. Not shocking anymore, but still something that makes daily life very different from 10 years ago. Why so many bans? At this point you might be wondering, why does Australia ban so many things? The answer comes down to 3 things. 1. Biosecurity. Australia's environment is unique and fragile. Even one insect or plant disease could wipe out crops or wildlife. 2. Public safety. From foods that could cause illness, to pets that could spread disease, bans are seen as prevention. 3. Culture and values. Some bans are less about safety and more about what feels right to society. Like not eating horses. So while these bans might seem funny or even over the top, they reflect the values and priorities of Aussie life. The bigger picture: in reality, bans are part of what makes Australia. Well, Australia. They keep the environment protected, the culture unique, and sometimes they give us hilarious stories to tell. Sure, you might not be able to buy certain snacks, own a hamster, or play your favorite game, but on the flip side, Australia remains one of the most unique and protected countries on Earth. So there you have it, the things Australia banned that shock the world. From rabbits to raw cheese, from laser pointers to entire video games, Australia takes bans seriously. But now I want to hear from you. Have you ever been surprised by a ban in Australia? Did you try to bring something in and get stopped at the airport? Or do you think some of these bans go too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, I'll be reading them. And don't forget to subscribe to Australia Tales for more deep dives into the stories that shape Aussie life. Thanks for watching.